Nathan Palawoda and Carson Mitchell on the front row coming to the start zone. Drink Fago and be in Fuego. Those are the only goals here tonight in Michigan as the Venom Truck Series is under green. We'll see just how quickly it's going to get packed up here as we already got 3 wide for second.
Yep, didn't take much time. A lot of room in the corners here. You're going to see 3, maybe even 4 wide all night long, especially on those restarts with fresh tires. It is certainly doable. Oh, a little movement there in the back.
Oh, boy. I think that might have been Cole Maxwell. Oh, there go around. Maxwell. Oh, problems. John Kay into the wall. They're wrecking.
Oh, and they're
Gaining,
still wrecking in front.
turns. Caution is out. John Kay, I think, tried to shut the door on somebody and got turned. They stacked up behind him.
Palawoda's not going to lift, and you're right. Kay tries to squeeze his way in there. Not even a truck length in between them. Palawoda plows John Kay into the outside wall. Nowhere to go.
Chad Stearns to the lead. I mean, we're pushing 4 wide here. We're 3 wide for sure.
Well, Carson Mitchell has a run. He can make it 4 wide if he wanted to.
I don't know if anybody wants that. At least not this early.
He's actually pushing Nathan Reynolds out to the lead now. Clears
Mitchell.
himself. There was room there. He pulls out in front of Jeremy McKinnon. His truck just kind of tried to turn left on him all of a sudden, and then he overcorrects it to the right. Tags Paul Ellison here.
4.5 laps. The top 5 well separated from the rest of the field. Stearns with a peak.
Yeah, Stearns kind of used the 13 of Rainey to get a little bit of a run on the leader. Couldn't make it stick that time.
He's still got the momentum. Mitchell and Poliski are both closing the gap here as well. McKinnon not as much, but he is still there. Ronnie Matney yesterday in the official league practice was fastest. So this is by no accident here. Matney has been fast this whole race, and he's showing the way. Matney, Stearns thinking about taking another look to the inside here. He's up to the door. May not be clear just yet. And now, still not clear. Matney battling back on the outside. Side by side for the race lead. This time Stearns clear. Matney has closed the gap, but can he find his way around the 0-5? Matney up the track. And I think for the second season in a row, it's going to be the 0-5 to the line first. Chad Stearns to win again at Michigan. And it's going to end just the same way it did last season, with some burnouts here from the 0-5.
A blind night that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Road I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation. After an off week, the field is feeling refreshed and rejuvenated, and just in time, too. The challenge ahead for tonight is a new one, as these brave souls will attempt to tackle 155 trips around the Magic Mile, and just in time for breakfast, too, I think, as the drivers of the Venom Truck Series are moments away from the green flag in tonight's running of the Fast Laps, Flat Tracks, and Flapjacks 155, presented by Flapjacks Pancake Cabin of Kodak, Tennessee. It's round number 8 of the 6th season of the Venom Truck Series. It's the boys. It's Tommy Cook. It's Matt Williamson. We're back after the off week. Are you feeling refreshed? Are you feeling rejuvenated? Do you have a tummy full of fluffy pancakes in you?
Not a tummy full of fluffy pancakes, but maybe a tummy full of nice big hot dogs after the July 4th break that we had last week. Man.
I can tell you, if you've still got hot dogs in your system from the 4th of July, there is no way you were feeling refreshed or rejuvenated ahead of tonight's race. But I'm glad you're here, partner. Michigan was a wild race. Tonight's going to be a wild race as well, but points got to be on everybody's brain as we're coming to the halfway mark of the season.
I mean, certainly. I mean, this is where you start, you kind of start wondering who's going to shake out to the top. I mean, despite what proved to be a disastrous night for Nathan Reynolds last week at Michigan, or 2 weeks ago, at Michigan, he will still be your points leader heading into tonight's race. But the defending champion, Andy Poliski, he is right there knocking on the door, just 6 points back. The man on the march through the standings is Rodney Matney. He has been on a tear as of late. In the last 3 races, Matney has gone from 17th to 6th in the standings with an average finish of 4.6 looking back to Texas. And one note here that has affected the standings ahead of tonight's race. The drop week has been factored in already. So these guys' worst race has been thrown out, essentially. Nathan Reynolds is certainly hoping that Michigan is going to be his worst race of the entire season, I can assure you.
Absolutely. Second to last driver running, finished 2 laps down. Really hoping that's going to be his worst race of the season. He's been looking pretty good here tonight, but still have a few other drivers. More on that in a second. This would normally be the point in the pre-race show where I would relay previous information about VTS action at New Hampshire. But as I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, there are no previous races here. There's one race from the Milwaukee Mile we can kind of draw on, where Andy Poliski walked away victorious in the Season 3 opener. There were a boatload, 10 cautions to be precise. But in my opinion, these 2 tracks, despite both being roughly a mile in length, they don't really drive the same. What is a lap around New Hampshire Motor Speedway like?
Well, you and I have been watching practice, and depending on what the track conditions are like, which so far in practice, it has been very hot and very slick. I think it's going to be very, very slippery going into the corners and trying to accelerate out of the corners. I think there will probably be shifting being used here. I mean, you really got to slow down. If you stay in fourth gear, you're kind of chugging out of the corners. I think there's going to be some drivers, shifting down to third for some acceleration out of the corner. But again, that creates a little more tire spin, a little more slippage. So it is it could get very interesting very quickly. We'll just put it that way.
For sure, and shifting down to third, like you said, maybe better drive off, but also tires slipping. Sim time right now is, I believe, 2:07. So this track is going to continue to get hotter. In fact, what are the track conditions like right now as these drivers motor around?
Well, we're taking a look now, and actually a little bit better than they were in practice. In practice,
really?
We were all the way up to 122 degrees on the track temperature. Right now, only 113 in the sim. So pretty surprised. We're getting later in the afternoon. I thought it would get a little bit hotter, but maybe some cloud cover while we were had stepped away for our opening ceremonies, if you will. So it's cooled off a little bit here.
Now, we got a couple of seconds here before warm-up closes here tonight. So I want to say hello to everybody. If you're watching, let us know. Drop a chat. Let us know that you are here. Announce your presence. We got a big week here on Turn 200. Tomorrow night will be the Daredevil Series from Suzuka. And then Thursday night is the points-paying debut of Maximum Velocity Racing League from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway. 2 big races for the rest of the week, and a big race tonight, round number 8 of the 6th season of the Venom Truck Series. It's the Fast Laps, Flat Tracks, and Flapjacks 155, presented by the Flapjacks Pancake Cabin of Kodak, Tennessee. And with his 5th career pole, first of the season, the Nathan streak is over. Chad Stearns is going to lead the field to green, your winner last week at Michigan. Starting to his outside, All-State John Kay, looking for some redemption after his home race went awry last week. Row number 2, the defending series champion, second in the points. Andy Poliski starts in third. 2-time series champ and the current points leader, Nathan Reynolds, starting to his outside on row number 2. Ryan Dye with a 5th place starting spot. He's the sponsor of the race here tonight. He wants to get back on the podium here tonight. He'll have Luke Peterson with another outstanding qualifying run and 4 top 10 finishes this season, 3 in a row for Luke Peterson coming into tonight. The driver that has led the second most laps this season, still looking for that first win, Jeremy McKinnon starts in 7th. Ronnie Matney, 2 consecutive podiums for driver number 83 heading into tonight. He starts in 8th. He was 3rd fastest in practice. Your top 10 starters are rounded out by Michael Dean and TJ Bartell. Row number 6 is Will Salamone on the inside. Flanky Roberts back on the field here tonight and rocking a car inside Cam as well. He starts in 12th. Garrett Rainey, Paul Ellison, teammates there on row number 7. Nathan Palawoda, your leading rookie, is back on the inside of row number 8 with Kyle Zittel to his outside. Pascal Samard back in the field here tonight. He starts at 17th. Jan Van Leer, Brantley Gainey, and Tyler Berger round out your top 20 starters here tonight. Rest of the starting order will be scrolling here as the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson will give us what we're keeping our eyes on here tonight as this race rolls along in terms of some strategy.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on the track conditions as we go along here tonight. Fuel window is 80 to 85 laps, so on fuel, it can really be a one-stop race, but I have a feeling it might be a two-stopper possibly for tires, especially with as many cautions as we are kind of expecting here in the booth. 0 fast repairs, 3 sets of tires. The 0 fast repairs, I think, may come into play here tonight. Alrighty, pace car pulls off left, and we are going green here in New Hampshire.
Great start here for Chad Stearns on the inside. Now John Kay finds himself with his hands full of Andy Poliski. And the caution is out already. 3 cars around. Cole Maxwell is one of them.
Oh, yeah, Cole Maxwell.
Kyle Zittel.
Quite a bit of damage here on that right front side. Looks like Ethan Patterson, and I think... not sure if there was a third one involved or not.
I think Paul Sargent may have gotten, maybe not. It may just be those two, but just like Michigan last week, before we make it back around to the stripe, we are under the caution.
Alrighty, we'll take a look at a replay here. Cole Maxwell is down on the bottom in the 3 machine. Oh, and the 82 of Patterson, he is on the top side, gets super loose, just comes straight down into the pathway of Cole Maxwell. And we'll try to see if Sargent, I think you're right, Sargent did squeeze by. It looked like almost made some contact with Gary Clark, but I think they were able to stay clear of each other. So ends up just being a 2-truck incident, and I think Maxwell actually got the worst of it.
Maxwell certainly got the worst of it. Kyle Zittle picked up a black flag on the restart, or on the start rather, and not sure how. But that penalty has been lifted. So some takers on pit road here on lap number 2. Kyle Zittle, Tyler Burgert, Steve Roman, Josh Cottle, Jeremy Carter, Kenneth Graves, and of course Cole Maxwell. One thing I was trying to say before I apparently muted my mic in an attempt to unmute my mic was the choke point on the exit of pit road. As if this race wasn't going to be complicated enough. If we get green flag pit stops, or honestly, if you're just not paying attention on the exit of pit roads, the inside wall juts out into what is just barely a truck width there on the bottom of the track. So you really got to be minding your P's and Q's, especially on cold tires, trying to push for everything you can get on this pit exit. It can really cause some problems here.
Alrighty, now while we have a second to stop here, I got a message from Jan Van Leer saying that he has some family visiting and they're going to be watching the stream. So thanks to the family of Jan Van Leer that's showing up and watching the broadcast here tonight. Appreciate you guys coming out and watching. And we're hopefully going to have maybe a green flag stint here for you as we are around in turn number 3.
And shout out to West Brown as well, rooting on Rodney Matney. Matney right now in the 8th position. Jan Van Leer is up 2 spots from where he started, but still outside of the top 15. Some work to do for him and work to do on the restart here for Chad Stearns on the inside. Back to it on lap 5. That was a quick caution. Gotta like that. "34 trucks is a lot to be motoring around the Magic Mile."
Yeah, there's not much room. I mean, this is not a very wide racetrack, especially on corner exit. We saw in the very first corner exit of turn 2, Poliski and John K. Wow, John K. sends it down into the front.
Absolutely. 3 truck lengths further than anybody else. And wow, loose behind them. Holy cow, I think that was Nathan Reynolds. Had that thing completely sideways just about. But John K. takes over the lead. Stearns is going to fall back to 3rd, maybe. Unless Ryan Dye has his way. Now, I got to ask, Stearns falling back here. That was, of course, a great move there by John K., but Chad Stearns known to conserve some tire.
I mean, he's the king of the long run. I mean, any race that we have. Oh, wow, McKinnon nearly bounced off the wall into Chad Stearns.
What's not going to help his long run speed is if he gets turned right here.
Yeah, you're right. Stearns is usually very good on saving his tires and being extremely, extremely good on the long run. It's kind of his bread and butter. But, yeah, I mean, if you can't have a clean truck at the end, it's kind of a moot point.
Side by side for the 5th position. Reynolds wants it, and he might take it here from Jeremy McKinnon. Rodney Matney has regained the 8th position over Luke Peterson. So starting to single file out here through the top 10. After a caution on the opening lap, these guys keen to settle in and maybe get a run going as Ryan Dye way up out of the groove there up front. Matney going to try and go to work on Will Salamone for the 7th position. I know it's early in the race. I don't want to jinx him, but you can't say enough about the run that Rodney Matney is on right now. It is fantastic.
No, certainly not. I mean, you know, somebody that we weren't really super familiar with. Had a few bad breaks there to begin the season, but man, he has really put it together here as of late. And here goes Reynolds looking to get by Stearns.
Let's put Stearns back to 5th. And Nathan Reynolds last week got up front, led 9 laps, but picked up a penalty under caution, had to serve it under green, and wound up finishing, I believe, 30th.
And there's some major cloud cover on the track right now. I'm going to pull up the weather here just for a second. Wow, this is unbelievable. The spikes in track temperature are crazy when the sun is out. We went back up to at least 121 degrees, now back down to 120, and I'm assuming it'll continue to go down here if the clouds continue to stay out. But wow, that's pretty crazy.
That is probably, I would imagine, what every single driver wants to see here. As Ryan Dye way up into the top lane of the track, opens the door for the 05 to get underneath. Couple of people fading, couple of people charging, but up front, John Kay slightly pulling away from Andy Poliski here. Just about a 6/10 of a second advantage over the 32.
Yeah, and that was Reynolds that got through on Dye. Now Chad Stearns is going to go to work on the number 9. I think he will probably be clear down here in turn 3. Speaking of Ryan Dye, let's go ahead and go car inside with the man Ryan Dye here.
And Nathan didn't send us a video in particular, but I tell you what, his channel has all the goods. If you want to figure out how to get around any track at all for official iRacing purposes, he is going to be your man. And his channel is linked in our description of this video. Just behind Ryan Dye here, Luke Peterson has gotten around Will Salamone. Salamone actually got up into the wall. And now, behind Ryan Dye, Rodney Matney is making a move on Jeremy McKinnon to get up to 6th.
Alrighty, so it looks like Ryan Dye, as of right now, is not shifting in the corners. We've seen some that do, some that don't. So that's something to keep an eye on here. He is electing not to, at least for the time being. Once the tires go away a little bit, that may change.
And just as quickly as Matney dispatched Jeremy McKinnon, he is now right underneath of Ryan Dye. This would be to get him up into the top 5. Jan Van Leer still running right where he restarted back in 16th. And after the accident, Cole Maxwell is running 32nd out of 34 trucks. Ethan Patterson running behind him in 33rd. So some damage on those trucks as Matney clears himself up in front of the 9 and move Matney now into the top 5.
Moves in front and then a little blink out of the number 9, but we see that from time to time.
We got the Mac Farm Family Adventures in the chat, rooting for Brantley Gainey. Is everybody keep it off the wall, please?
I think that was Salamone that nearly got into it. Oh, the caution's out.
Problems down the back straightaway, 2 trucks around. Oz Kanar is one of them, and don't tell me that's Brantley Gainey that just went with him.
Oh, no.
I said his name, and it happened.
Well,
and just as Lindsay G hopped into the chat, too. Oh, my gosh.
And he's one of our car inside drivers tonight. The Mac Farm Family Adventures was also rooting for Brantley here tonight.
Yep. And unfortunately, it looked like Gainey maybe just drifted up the track on Kyle Zittel a little bit and got turned into the outside wall.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. This is out of turn number 2, and yeah, you're right. Zittel came down just a little bit to try to stay off the wall. Gainey drifted up the track. They come together. Whew, boy, that was a big impact for both of them. Oh, and then, oh man, then Gainey gets the absolute worst of it as Oz Kanar did not get slowed down. Didn't really expect him to come straight down the track like that, I don't think, and absolutely creams him in the driver's side door. So big damage there for Gainey.
Apologies to Lindsey G. We will try to avoid talking about Brantley Gainey, I guess, because I mean that was Johnny on the spot as it's ever been. Some drivers on pit road here: Ethan Patterson, Oz Kanar, Jeremy McKinnon, Nathan Palawota, Paul Ellison, Kyle Zittel, Paul Sargent, Kyle Dume, Tyler Berger, Kenneth Graves, Joshua Cottle, Cole Maxwell, Gary Clark, and, of course, Brantley Gainey. Oz Kanar did have a meatball flag, but got it cleared pretty quick.
And Gainey, I have his camera up here on the stream right now. If you're wondering what the sign says on the T-shirt, Insert Coin Rules, of course, a member of Insert Coin Racing, but... he's going to have to get some damage fixed on a couple of pit stops, I think, here before he's able to move up the field.
I mean, has there ever been a more instant jinx than that? Like, that was, that was incredible in the worst way.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say that it wasn't, but it just was. And we are very good at it. Unfortunately.
Yes. It's a wonder anybody asked us back. I'll tell you what, the driver that has led most in this race has led the most laps this season. I believe up to 220 laps and counting. John Kay in control of the field here, coming to the restart on lap 21 with Andy Poliski to his outside. Green flag. Okay, up the track, opens the door on the bottom for Poliski. Can he get the drive off? Not quite. Battling side by side for third. It's Stearns on the outside, Reynolds on the inside. Reynolds sends it in about a truck length deeper than the 0.5. Still going to be side by side.
Oh, wow.
Boy! Tight quarters. And he's going to try a slide job. I think Stearns let him have that one. He could have certainly held it up better there on the outside, I think, but thinks better of it. Trying to play the long game like we keep talking about.
Yep. And here comes Matt. He's looking to get back around Ryan Dye this time.
The battle continues.
Oh, wow. Salamone Peterson absolutely sends it into turn 1.
Wow.
And they are bunched up big time, way behind him. That is the hornet's nest of hornet's nests I've ever seen.
I mean, there are 3, 4, or 5 guys that just keep coming inches away from piling into the person in front of them.
We are 3 wide back here. Flinky Roberts, who's one of our car inside drivers, he's one of them. Jeremy McKinnon absolutely sends it into turn 1. That's all the way back in 15th place.
I believe that's Corey Rutherford that has just gotten underneath of him. That's going to keep the door open for Palawota and McKinnon to get through here as well. Actually, McKinnon going to be side by side with Flink heading in to turn number 3.
Well, let's go ahead and go on board with Flink. We'll go car inside with Mr. Greg Flinky Roberts here. And he is looking down the barrel of a lot of trucks that are fast and trying to get around him. Zittel sends it to his inside. He is sliding quickly right now.
Zittel's been in the thick of it all night tonight.
He certainly has. Blinky Roberts here with Speedy the Seal in the background. I know it's a little bit hard to see because of the way the darkness. There's not a whole lot of light here on the screen, but that's his good luck charm. But Speedy's going to have to do a little better than that if we're going to get Flinky up there to a top 10.
Happy to have Flinky here tonight. He said he had a commitment elsewhere. But his other race got canceled, I believe. So he's here rocking the sim with us here tonight. Happy to have him along, especially as a car inside driver.
Absolutely. It's been a long time coming. I think we had him on one other time, but he got taken out early. I think it might have been Daytona, actually. Got taken out early in the Superspeedway race, and glad to have him back here at New Hampshire.
And up front, Poliski tried to make a move there on John Kay out of turn number 2. Lost the back end of the truck just a little bit, but John Kay certainly knows Poliski is there. And what is a continuation of their battle in the closing laps at North Wilkesboro earlier this season.
Well, the 4 that you see up front right now, I mean, those have been the 4 to watch up front pretty much all season. Whoa! Nathan Reynolds had that thing yawn out coming out of turn number 2.
Poliski down on the apron. I mean, there's catfishing, and then there's whatever Poliski's doing here.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got to have to be careful. If Chad Stearns gets a whiff of what he's doing, he's going to learn something and maybe make better on his laps.
I think he's learning something right now. Nice diamond there for Poliski. He's going to have a run. I'm not sure if it's going to be quite enough to make a move here. He closed right up to that, too. Behind Stearns, next truck back is Rodney Matney, but he is about 1.25 seconds behind the 0.5. About 2.2 seconds behind John Kay. And behind Matney, he is not really being challenged by anybody. Will Salamone has gotten up to that 7th position. Luke Peterson, Jeremy McKinnon, TJ Bartell, Garrett Rainey round out your top 10. Ryan Dye on a slide right now, all the way down to 12th, as Nathan Paluota has made his way up to 11th.
And I just heard a shift from John Kay. So we've gotten to that point in the run where the leaders are starting to shift in the corners.
Lindsey G out there with the big brain play, saying maybe I should start rooting for the leaders if whoever I was going to get jinxed. Root away. I'm sure John Kay wouldn't mind.
Oh, please.
Wow.
He's super loose.
Way loose.
Further back, Jeremy McKinnon made a pass for 6. He got by Will Salamone. Peterson, Bartell, and then Nathan Paluota round out the top 10. Ryan Dye is on a massive downhill slide right now. He's all the way down to 13th after restarting, I think, 4th or 5th.
First battle for position, I believe, is Kyle Zittel trying to get past Garrett Rainey for the 11th position as Nathan Paluota's made his way into the top 10. Oh, trouble in the back. Ryan Dye just got put up into the wall. I think that was Michael Dean. I mean, he doored him. I don't think it was intentional, but certainly a lot of contact between those two. And Dye, I think, has got some major problems here. He is limping this truck around.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at a replay here. This is going into turn number 3. Oh, Michael Dean is completely sideways here. He slides it way up the racetrack in turn 3. Dye is trying to kind of slow down, but just nowhere to go. Oh, he takes a hard hit into the wall.
It is a meatball flag for Ryan Dye. And he is coming to the pits.
Wow. And Ryan Dye was another one of our car inside drivers. If you're Nathan Reynolds right now, you might not, you might want to be careful and get out of the car inside camera app right now.
Man, I know Ryan was looking forward to tonight, and he was also looking forward to being on Car Inside, but it's not going particularly well.
Well, Matney was all by himself there for a little while. Jeremy McKinnon is now caught up to him.
Yeah, McKinnon's been piping in some stellar laps here and has caught the 83, trying to root him up out of the line now. These two battled a little bit in the opening stages of Michigan as well. Find themselves stuck together once again. McKinnon trying to make quick work here. As up front, Poliski had a bumper to the inside of John Kay. They fight. They go back to single file down the back straightaway here.
It almost looks like slow-paced tandem drafting right now with the leaders, but Poliski jumps to the inside. Kay with a little slip-up.
Poliski will have a better look here into turn number 1. Backs it up. Really trying to roll the bottom here and diamonds it. I mean, on the pit exit lane there. Like, that is... wow.
On the pit exit lane and a little bit off the outside wall, I think.
Caitlin McLaughlin in the chat. What's up? The whole Gainey squad is repping out big here tonight.
Well, I think word might have gotten out that he was one of our car inside drivers, and he would be on the stream full blown with his paper insert coin racing sign and all. But it hasn't gone to plan thus far.
I will say it's been a decent recovery after the crash so far. He's back up to 23rd, which is about where he was running. With the damage, I'd say that's pretty good. So hopefully he continues to climb here as Stearns is going to lobby to get up to the 3rd position here. Underneath the Reynolds, they touched! Boy. Stearns immediately over the radio with an apology there. But, I mean, what an incredible save.
Yeah, he was really loose after the contact. Stearns could have just stayed in the gas and gone around, but he's made a quick recovery from what could have been disaster.
So lap 40 goes up on the board. A quick look through the field here. John Kay, Andy Poliski, Nathan Reynolds, Chad Stearns, and Jeremy McKinnon, your top 5. Rodney Matney, Nathan Paluota, Will Salamone, Luke Peterson, Kyle Zittel, your top 10. TJ Bartell, Garrett Rainey, Michael Dean, Paul Ellison, and Jan Van Leer, your top 15 here tonight at lap number 40. Here goes Poliski. Yikes.
Oh, and he's
really loose.
Man, that exit out of turn number 4 on the apron there, he gets loose almost every time. That's just such a touchy and slick place to be on the racetrack.
He keeps taking little jabs. Eventually, he's going to land the knockout punch here. And by hook or by crook, he's going to get up to the lead. Poliski again, man, really sends it in there. This feels a little bit backwards of their North Wilkesboro battle. If you remember, it was Poliski who closed a big gap, really had John Kay on the ropes. This feels a little bit more like Poliski is the one, not quite in desperation mode, but he's certainly having to look around to make the pass. I don't think he's got John Kay much worried yet.
No, he's kind of taken almost a couple of Hail Mary attempts. Chad Stearns has gotten by Nathan Reynolds now, and Stearns, I think, was being a little bit held up. Oh, wow, John Kay went to block Poliski down in the middle of the racetrack.
I think he lost the back end of the truck. Now some lap traffic. Polisky kind of got bottled up by a truck coming off of pit road. I believe it was Gary Clark that last time by, so he couldn't really take the lane that he wanted. And now they've got, I believe this is Oz Kanar in front of them. So where will Kanar go? And where will Polisky go? He is also loose.
Kanar very graciously pulls way down to the bottom. There is not, I mean, when you're coming out of the turns, there is not a lot of room to go anywhere if you're a lap truck.
By the way, to point out, Ryan Dye only had 2 laps. That's all it took to get his meatball flag cleared. So he is back on the track, albeit 2 laps down now, in the 32nd position. And he's no longer the first truck 1 lap down. If the caution were to come out, it is now Oz Kanar. Oz Kanar also 2 laps down. So 30 trucks on the lead lap. Lap number 45 is complete. 46 is up on the board. I gotta wonder, are we gonna start seeing pit stops, maybe strategy-wise for some of the 2-stoppers coming up?
Yeah, I mean, if you're on the 2-stop strategy, I think right here around lap 50, 55, that's probably right where it's going to be. And if that's
right
not what
on
you're
cue.
going for,
Pascal Samar, Kyle Dumig onto pit road.
yeah, I think a lot of the trucks probably, you know, outside of the top 15, maybe outside the top 20. We'll probably elect for a 2-stop if I had to guess. Polisky, man, these guys are showing off the talent out of the corners here. I mean, it is slippery. But I think a lot of the leaders may decide, maybe not a lot, but some of the leaders may decide to go ahead and make it a 1-stop, especially with some of the cautions that we've had, and might be expecting some more. In that case, you're really not going to need to pit until right around lap like 77, 78. If you want to, you know, be on the short side, you can make it all the way to lap 80, 85 possibly, and definitely be okay.
Now Kyle Dumig has just pulled out of the pits, and he is right behind the top 3 here, as Chad Stearns continuing to close in on these top 2, the 7 of Dumig. On a lot fresher tires here.
And Nathan Reynolds has fallen back. Here goes Dumig for a pass. He's trying to make good on these new tires that he has, but it is a tough place to pass here in New Hampshire.
Joshua Cottle has just entered pit road. And Kyle Dumig, wow, really loose there. Man, he has had a tough season. It has certainly, results-wise, not gone to plan for driver number 7 so far in Season 6. So, him and Pascal Samard both. Samard has been running fantastic and has not had the results to show for it, unfortunately. So, these two may be coming in a little bit early, trying something a little bit different, trying out the 2-stop strategy. We'll see if it works out for him. As Dumig going to go up into the black there and go to the outside. That may be the way to go here for the drivers on fresh tires.
Stearns kind of fighting back. Doesn't want to give up the spot. I think he's kind of tracking Polisky down. He doesn't want to get a truck in between him and Polisky and then have a tough time being able to make any sort of a move for a pass.
Well, unfortunately now, the 94 of Joshua Cottle has just come out into the mix here as well, so it's about to happen again. As Cottle up the track, squeezing up the 0.5, maybe a little bit higher than he wanted to be there through the middle of the turns.
And now Dumig is between K and Polisky, so the lap trucks are really getting mixed in, kind of in a weird place here.
Corey Rutherford is on to pit road. Caudill is following the 7 of Dumig through on the top side. Jeremy Carter just entering pit road there, you saw on the pit lane entry. So gearing up for maybe a bigger wave of pit stops here as Garrett Rainey is now going to enter the pits. Reminder what we got on tap here for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night is the Daredevil Series at Suzuka, the big road course, the classic race on the schedule. And Thursday night is the points-paying debut of the Maximum Velocity Racing League. It is a long-awaited series return, and it's going to be right here on Turn 200. To make sure that you are here for it and on time, hit that subscribe button, if you would, please. While you're down there, hit the like on this stream. Every little bit helps. It is lap number 54. Chad Stearns has reeled back in Andy Poliski, who has faded away quite a bit from John Kay here, even in the midst of some lap traffic.
Somebody else who's faded away, Nathan Reynolds. He's fallen back. He's over a second and a half behind Chad Stearns now. So just in the last 10 laps or so, he has fallen back quite a bit, almost a tenth a lap.
Poliski continuing to diamond the corners to try and get these big runs down the straightaway. Right now it's fallen to about 0.6 of a second behind the race leader, John Kay, who's working underneath of Cole Maxwell. John Kay coming to the pits. So the first of the leaders to hit pit road, John Kay.
All right, so he set the tone for the strategy of the leaders. I would have to guess if you're probably around the top 6 or 7, you're wanting to play it safe. You're going to come into pit pretty much immediately or as soon as you can, although you might get blocked by some lap traffic here. That could be pretty interesting.
John Kay, usually the first to come in on these green flag pit cycles. The driver that's usually been the last to come in is TJ Bartel, but Bartel is on pit road now as well from the top 10. So an early stop here for Bartel. Tyler Berger, Kenneth Graves, Rodney Matney, Luke Peterson, 2 more drivers from the top 10 into the pits this time.
Wow, this is getting crazy. The 23 truck threading the needle between Stearns and Maxwell, who was a lapped car, or a lap truck, excuse me. The 23, he's on fresh tires. That's
Look at where
Jeremy
John Kay.
Carter.
Look at where John Kay came out, right behind Andy Poliski, who is the new race leader, but he unlaps himself.
Wow. I think if anything, that proves that you need to be on the 2-stop strategy, probably. You're not going to lose a ton of time here in the pits.
I tell you what, by the end of this race, I think we'll find out.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Kevin Sargent has hit pit road. It's a home race for the Sargent boys here tonight. Or sort of a home race, anyway. Bartel just set the purple lap of the race at 30.706. So 74 truck piping in some real nice laps here after his pit stops. I believe he has come out behind his teammate Rodney Matney, however.
And now Matney set the purple. Or no, Bartel.
John
Everybody's
Kay.
setting purple laps all of a sudden. Good Lord, John Kay just said it again.
John Kay into the 30.6s.
I think it changed hands like 3 or 4 times right there.
So Andy Poliski, Chad Stearns, still pretty close to one another, separated by a couple of truck lengths here. They have yet to come to pit road.
And by my estimation, it looks like there's 9 trucks that have yet to come down into the pits. Not all of them are the top 9. There's a couple that have come in, albeit a couple of them were on the couple of the pit stops that we had for the cautions. So not necessarily on the same strategy as a John Kay is.
Austin Holyfield is hitting pit road this time. Andy Poliski trying to put some separation between he and Chad Stearns, but oh boy, he is loose. Having to yield to some lap traffic here as well. About 0.7 of a second the last time at the line. I'd imagine that the 0.5 is closing the gap once again.
And Nathan Reynolds, the owner of Car Inside, of course, he's one of our drivers on camera here tonight. I mean, he's still in third place, but it's been kind of an interesting race for him. He started out way towards the front, then fell back a little bit towards the end of the run. He's had to deal with a ton of lap traffic and trucks that got fresh tires going around him. He's really had an interesting night and not even halfway through this race yet.
Something just happened to Ethan Patterson, it sounded like. And you know what, actually, I think he's been running his engine in the pits and it blew up on him. So nothing to warrant a caution as Nathan Reynolds just hit pit road.
And here comes Chad Stearns once again.
He's there. But some lap traffic interjecting here. What can you do if you're the 0.5?
It's just such a hard racetrack to get a good run and try to make a pass.
Boy.
Whoa, there's a fight. I think that's for a position. Peterson is able to kind of catch him off guard there a little bit.
So Peterson trying to get back on the lead lap here, tantalizingly close to doing so.
The 14 there was Kenneth Graves. Peterson said, all right, you're going to sleep right behind him here. I'm just going to take you on the inside.
I believe the top 12 drivers have yet to come to pit road under this green flag pit cycle. They may have been on pit road already at some point, but they have yet to come to pit road since we've taken the green flag last. Poliski, Stearns, McKinnon, Paolowoda, Dean Zittel, Allison Salamone, Jan Van Leer, Roman, Gainey, and Flinky Roberts.
Oh, Stearns, wow! It looked like he was going to loop it out. What a recovery. He still gets a great run out of the corner.
I think Poliski got a little bit loose, not nearly as much as that, though. So that certainly helped the cause. And I think Stearns has been conserving a little bit more than Poliski has. The problem, like you said, it's hard to find real estate that you can use to get around here.
Oh, and there's contact!
Man! Door banging behind.
Oh,
and
Reynolds
there's still
is caught up in
contact.
it.
Graves into Rainey as they're trying to collect it. Nathan Reynolds piles in here. John Kay started to pass trucks that have yet to come to pit road. So he has moved up to the 12th position now. I hear somebody in the wall, I think in turn 3 maybe.
Oh, wow. Police.
It might have been Ryan Knight.
Oh, my goodness. Poliski was way up the track. Reynolds is on fresh tires trying to unlap himself here. And he nearly got into Chad Stearns. He sailed it into turn 2.
He is clear of the leaders. I think even with the help of some caution lamps here, these guys are trying to go empty tank. I think 85 is the number. Question is, are the tires going to hold up that long?
Look at Reynolds threading the needle between a couple of lappers now. He is on the move. He doesn't want to waste any time here with fresh Goodyear tires. Please sponsor. Thank you.
This race is brought to you by the V7 tire model here on iRacing.
Wow, these Poliski and Stearns have just yo-yoed back and forth, but no pass has ever been made between the two of them, I don't believe.
Not yet, at least.
And
We
just
may
as I say
change
that,
that
here
right
comes
now.
Stearns.
Asking you shall receive 05 up to the lead, but Poliski
There's a
back
crossover.
underneath. Oh, Poliski now going to come to the
down
pit.
pit road.
The ultimate bait and switch. He did it.
What a move.
Down to 45 miles an hour.
You know what? That's a really weird spot as far as how far we think they can go on a tank of fuel. It's just a weird spot to come into pit.
Certainly. But I trust Poliski. He's pretty good at this stuff. Eric Breeding is in pit road now as well. We got Madison Bowen in the chat.
The old girl, the OG old girl.
Lovely. She's taking the car inside camera. Poliski on and off pit road without much eventfulness. And he is pretty well far back here in the cycle. But again, on way fresher tires than most of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we talked about John Kay. He was pretty much the first of the leaders to come in. I mean, he has almost 25 laps on his tires now. I mean, that's a pretty long run. So it's just really interesting how the varying strategies are playing out here. So many different ones.
Here comes Chad Stearns. Stearns into the pits. Flanky Roberts is in as well. Jeremy Carter came into the pits and then disconnected from the session. Michael Dean is into the pit road now as well.
Now Jeremy McKinnon is going to take over the lead along with Nathan Palawota. I believe the two of them came in on the second caution of the night that we had.
You are correct.
That would have been lap 17 or 18.
That I don't remember, but it sounds about right.
Oh, the OG old girl is out now. Nice having you.
Thanks for coming by, though. Appreciate you hanging out with us. So, Palawota and McKinnon out front, nose to tail, first and second have yet to come to pit road. John Kay, the first driver off of pit road here in this green flag pit cycle, he is in third. Will Salamone has just come to the pits.
And if all things stay clean and green here, we're thinking McKinnon and Palawota can probably make it to about lap 100. Maybe a little bit more than that, but not too much. And then they'll have to come down pit road.
The good news for them is they've got 18 drivers on the lead lap, and 18 drivers only out of, I believe, the 30 that are still running here. Palawota looking to make a move on McKinnon. Nothing quite going yet.
Wow, and somebody, this is a little scrap back here. Somebody I don't think we've mentioned at all tonight, Steve Roman. He is in this little battle. This is with Reynolds and TJ Bartel.
Great to see Roman back here tonight after missing a couple of weeks ago at Michigan. And Bartel going to scoot on by the 00.
Yeah, and he's had a very quiet night here tonight. Usually that's a good thing for him, but
yes.
hasn't really had the result we're used to seeing here tonight.
Man, Flanky Roberts had his truck completely sideways with Rodney Matney working to his outside last time around. And up front, Palawota has gotten around Jeremy McKinnon. McKinnon was slowing up like he was coming to pit road. Either that or he needed to save the truck, but he did not make it into the pits that time. And now John Kay has passed him on the track. So move John Kay up to second. And he is digging hard to get up to Palawota.
And a couple of our car inside drivers are battling here. This is not for position, but Flinky Roberts just got by. And Brantley Gainey, let's go ahead and go car inside once again with the man Brantley Gainey while he's actually on the move here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Gainey's been on pit road just yet, but right now he's inside the top 5. Steve Vroman has just come to pit road. Kyle Dumick is back on pit road.
I think Gainey is struggling on these tires. It has been a long time. I think he's on the same strategy that McKinnon and Paliwoda are on as well. And Nathan Reynolds just went by him like he was standing still. So these tires underneath of him are asking for a little bit of help.
Yeah, I don't think Gainey's been on pit road since lap 17 when he was involved in that accident that brought out the caution. So certainly these tires are screaming for help at this point.
Even so, he is working on a pass on Paul Ellison. I think he's completed it.
Up front, John Kay is past Nathan Paliwoda for the lead. As to be expected, we just weren't sure when it was going to happen. But John Kay back up to the lead as Paliwoda still needing to come down pit road, as is Jeremy McKinnon.
And
so the driver... Sorry, go ahead.
If all things stay equal here, I think John Kay and some of the other drivers are pretty much going to end up coming in about the exact same time that the drivers that came into pit on that second caution will come in. That would be Paliwoda, McKinnon, Ellison was a part of that. We just talked about Brantley Gainey was a part of that group as well. I think all of those drivers are going to end up pitting around the same little 5-lap bubble probably, and then have the same stint to the end of the race. So just varying strategies that ultimately ends up with the same last run towards the end.
Oh, caution is out. Looking around the track here for what may have happened, and I'm not seeing anything. Interesting. Have you caught anything here?
I have not. I was trying to look at incidents. I don't see any. Looking at passes, I mean, Holyfield got passed by 3 people, but he was still moving forward. So I'm not really sure.
I tell you what, we did have. Let me go look. I think Austin Holyfield might be the one you're looking for there. He got incredibly loose down the back straightaway, slapped the wall, but never came to a complete stop. The caution did come out, though.
Oh, you're right. It looks like, wow, he does a great job of staying away from a couple of drivers. Evasive action from Zittel and Matney. Oh, and he does go face first into the wall. I mean, he was completely almost stopped sideways.
We just had a crash on pit road.
Oh,
I'm not too sure. Nathan Reynolds didn't tag the driver in front of him. It was actually Rodney Matney that tagged somebody. It was Pascal Simard.
All right, so I have something else I got to take a look at. Let's see. And there's Simard sideways, and let's take a look. Oh, actually, Simard, I think, went past his pit box, and he came to almost a complete stop sideways in the middle of pit road. That's why Matney actually clipped him, I think.
Yeah, it was a sudden and slow turn in there for the 76, whatever the case was. But Matney, not a whole lot he could do, it looked like. But boy, I tell you what, that caution is going to work out absolute gangbusters for Nathan Paliwoda, who had stayed out. He had yet to come down pit road. no matter what the strategy was, the truth of it is now that he is in the second position behind John Kay. And they all have got fresh tires and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt it couldn't have worked out any more perfectly. And the same goes for Paul Ellison. Looks like Brantley Gainey, he may have gotten caught up in whatever happened on pit road. Maybe had to come to a bit of a stop or a slowdown. He lost quite a few positions on the pit stop, but still a net gain from where he was, and he'll restart 14th.
Letting my scoring update here as some of these drivers start to cross the line again. Some other drivers that picked up a few spots there compared to where they were running before green flag pit stops started. Brantley Gainey, he was in, I believe, just outside of the top 20 when he took the green flag there, and is now up into the top 15, up to 14th. Rodney Matney is going to come out on the wrong end of this. He was going to cycle out to be in the top 3. He is back to 12th. Jeremy McKinnon, likewise, may have cycled out to be inside the top 10. He is back to 15th. And I think Chad Stearns... never mind. Chad Stearns is going to... I thought somebody was asking Chad Stearns if he got a speeding penalty, but that is not the case. He just is a little bit further back than I think he wants to be here on this restart. John Kay is going to elect the outside here for this restart. That'll put the 6 of Palawota on the bottom. And these two were battling for the second position at Michigan last week. Made a little bit of contact. Effectively ended John Kay's race. Palawota did pick up a little bit of damage. He finished just outside of the top 10. So it was not the result that either one of them was really looking for, especially how well they were both running.
Certainly not, and I wasn't able to hear it, but I've heard from a couple of people that there were some words exchanged, maybe over the radio, or at least a comment made. So a little bit of a heated battle here between these two, and we'll see if they can make do on it, get out of this one clean, and see who can come out on top.
Every battle tonight is a heated battle as John Kay gets a great restart there. Leaves Palawota in the dust. Reynolds already up to second outright. Palawota going to slide in as, Bartel slides up behind them.
Wow, they were stacked up big time around there. I don't know how Bartel was able to make that one work, but he slides through into the top 5.
Sometimes it's better not to ask questions and just take what it gives you. Peterson and Ellison battling side by side just behind them with the battle for 6th.
And Stearns is going to insert himself into this as well, looking the bottom feed under Ellison.
Now, we say Stearns likes to lay back and save, but 8th place may be a little bit too far back to do that. I think he's actually going to have to put in some work here. John Kay and then Nathan Reynolds in that order. Just put up the purple lap of the session. Reynolds with a 30.591. Reckon in the back is the call over the radio. Caution is out. Brantley Gainey again.
Brantley Gainey is involved in this one.
And it's his teammate, Michael Dean. I think Gainey was more the byproduct here, and I think Dean, one way or another, is going to find himself pointed the wrong direction here in the middle, 1 and 2. The caution is out for the 4th time, I do believe.
Alrighty, so this is a replay. This is going to be Gainey here in the 22. He is going to be in the middle of Sargent and McKinnon. And actually, kind of two separate incidents. It looks like Gainey, Michael Dean was already around in front of them, and Gainey, I don't know if he just tried to get on the brakes or if he was just loose on his own, but he ends up down in the grass. I don't even know if those two ever really touched. That's crazy. I'm going to take a look at Michael Dean because there may have been a little bit more contact here. He comes down in. He's got Garrett Rainey on his outside. He sends it pretty good here into turn one. And he has to, he gets slowed way down. It looks like there was some contact with Rainey. And then Matney tried to get slowed down and gets into the back of him as well. That sends him down into the grass.
So Jan Van Leer will get the lucky dog here. He'll be back on the lead lap. He'll be the 24th truck on the lead lap here. I believe we have 28 trucks running as of now. Cole Maxwell, Tyler Bergert, Austin Holyfield, each 1 lap down. Ryan Dye still on the battlefield, 4 laps down. And actually, Oz Kanar is still motoring around in 29th, 7 laps down after picking up a lot of damage on the second caution of the night. Under this yellow flag, we've seen pit stops from Kevin Sargent, Eric Breeding, Kenneth Graves, and Joshua Cottle. So I don't think really anybody that was even involved in the accident hit pit road that time. But this is setting up for another Alabama Gang Classic up front. John Kay, Nathan Reynolds going to line up side by side for this restart. We've seen this battle brewing. I don't know if we've really got the full brunt of it just yet.
Well, these two are certainly quite respectful of one another. Obviously on the same team, but even when they were not, a lot of respect between the two of them. And, really not a lot of fireworks, although they have been up front together a whole lot more this season than they ever were last season. Of course, John Kay missed a lot of races last season as well.
John Kay has led the most laps this season. And before tonight, Nathan Reynolds had led the second most. I believe Jeremy McKinnon has eclipsed him with the laps that he spent out front here tonight. But Alabama Gang coming into the night with a 6-point lead over Broke Guy Racing. Reynolds maybe going to line up to the inside of John Kay here. I'm not exactly sure. Going for more of a zipper formation than maybe the race controllers would like.
And a quick shout out to everybody watching here tonight, and we've had quite a few chatters here as well, so thanks to everybody shouting out their favorite drivers, and a few watching. I know Jan Van Leer's family I think is watching here as well, so if you didn't hear it before, just want to give you guys a shout out too. Thanks for tuning in as we are about to go green. Another great start from John Kay. Reynolds, he had to check up a little bit. He checked up the entire field pretty much there. Poliski had to as well.
Tight quarters behind them, Bartel and Peterson out of turn number 2.
And Bartel underneath Peterson. There's some contact, I think, there in turn 3. If not, there was only about a biscuit in between them.
We're here for pancakes. We're not here for biscuits today.
Sorry, a nice thin pancake right in between
There
them.
you go.
A flapjack, if you will.
Oh, there's going to be some flapjacks by the end of this one, I think. Reynolds right up on John Kay.
Oh, and he goes to the outside here. We haven't seen that too much tonight.
Maybe looking for an out to in, but Kay gets the better run off the turn.
And now with these two battling, Poliski has inserted himself into the mix. Looking underneath of Nathan Reynolds. Not this time.
Poliski again digging hard on the bottom there, and it seems to work out about 50% of the time. It's just so hard to make some of these moves stick.
A little bit farther back, Stearns trying to work on Peterson. This is for the 6th position. He's able to complete the pass for now.
Corey Rutherford has moved himself up into the top 10. Ronnie Matney trying to change that, but for now, great to see that 25 up in the top 10 here tonight. And shout out to Paul Sargent as well. I mentioned Sargent Boy home race here tonight. He's up inside the top 15. So, oh boy, Michael Dean nearly piled into Kyle Zittel behind them.
Oh, there's one way loose in the back.
Might have been Corey Rutherford.
It was Rutherford. He got loose and slapped the wall.
I'm just not going to talk about people anymore. It's just not going to happen. Just going to sit here the rest of the broadcast and look at the crowd.
All right, this is a perfect opportunity. I want to go car inside with the man that owns car inside. He is trying to chase down your leader, John Kay. This is Nathan Reynolds in second. And there's the shift through right in the middle of turns 1 and 2. He dives it down deep, shifts into third. It's a good drive off. Down to third now in turn number 3 and 4 as well. Not gaining much ground, though. John Kay extending this lead right now.
About half a second for Kay over Reynolds, Poliski, Palawoda, and Bartel, the top 5. Caution. Trouble again. It's Kevin Sargent around on the back straightaway.
I didn't quite.
Looked like it was a solo. I was going to say it was a solo truck incident, but I believe he is going to tag Joshua Cottle on his way by.
Here he is, Sargent. He's in the 09. Working through turns 1 and 2 here. Oh, and he just gets loose out of turn number 2. We've seen it so many times from so many different drivers here tonight already. When he tries to correct it, he turns the truck. Cottle, not a whole lot of space to maneuver. And that is heavy damage to the 09.
First taker onto pit road, Corey Rutherford from just outside of the top 10. Remember, he had some damage after slapping the wall there, but Michael Dean, Mo Salamone, Steve Roman, Jan Van Leer, Kevin Sargent going to hit pit road this time as well.
5th caution of the race up on the board.
Just over the 1 hour mark as well. Got about 50 laps to go.
We clicked off quite a few there for a while, but things have kind of slowed down a little bit. A couple cautions in a row here.
Yeah, I was surprised that we got as long of a green flag run as we did. We went from, what, lap 17 to just inside of lap 100. It was like lap 85 or 90 when that caution came out.
Yeah, I think 87, 85, something like that.
So these drivers were minding their P's and Q's for a while. I don't know if the gloves are off yet, but certainly drivers starting to think about taking the gloves off. I think it's we're well within that time frame.
Well, I mean, the laps click off quick here, so you get under 50 laps to go, and You start going, well, how many more chances do I really have to make passes here? I mean, still a third of the race left, pretty much. But man, I don't know. I feel like you're kind of getting down to the nitty gritty here when we're going to restart, probably with I don't know, maybe 47 laps to go. 48 laps to go.
I think that's two qualities I don't want in my Flapjacks. Nitty and gritty.
I don't know. Flapjacks and grits could be the play.
Oh, this is probably going to land me in hot water, especially with our mainly southeastern crowd here. But not a fan of grits.
You haven't had grits the right way, then, my friend.
I have had grits in Alabama. I've had grits in Georgia. I didn't enjoy it.
Oof.
Yep.
I'll take.
That's fine. I'll take it. You know, if that's really what does our channel in, maybe I deserve it. That last time around, Brantley Gainey, Cole Maxwell, Oz Kanar, Ryan Dye, and Tyler Bergert all hit pit road there as well. A few of those drivers are a lap down. Brantley Gainey is not, though. So he should be the last truck on the lead lap here. He'll be in 24th as the field doubles up here for a restart coming to lap 109. Teammates John Kay, Nathan Reynolds on the front row. Poliski and Pavlowoda on row 2. Chad Stearns, TJ Bartell on row 3. Peterson, Rainey, Ellison, and Matney. The rest of your top 10 here as we are back to green.
Oh, and I thought Pavlowoda might get a better restart starting right behind Kay. He does not. He's actually getting swallowed up maybe by Stearns here.
He's going to get a good run off the top side here. And now we'll try and battle back around the outside of Poliski to hang on to third. Oh, Peterson a little bit loose there on corner entry, but it's going to make it work.
Pavlowoda fighting really nicely here on the outside. Not able to clear Andy Poliski, but still battling hard.
Peterson and Bartell. Oh, as Poliski gets a little bit loose there off the bottom. A lot of side-by-side battles, still trying to shake things out here after the restart. Peterson going to fall in line behind Bartell. Peterson nearly gets tagged there by the 13 of Rainey, who sends it in deep.
And now Poliski is able to clear Pavlowoda. Chad Stearns now looks to the bottom.
Not going to be able to get it done this time. Oh. But Pavlowoda way loose.
That was almost disaster. A little bit farther back. Oh, my Lord. They are 3 wide going into turn 3.
Wow, that is a mess. Salamone, Ellison, Zittel, McKinnon, all there. Somebody just hit the wall a little bit further back. I heard it. Everybody is still pointed in the right direction, though.
Pavlowoda on a little bit of a slide. He's trying to regroup. Bartell looking to the inside. Pavlowoda loses the nose just a bit. Somebody else is sideways.
I'm not too sure that wasn't Garrett Rainey. He's going to lose a few spots here.
My goodness. And now Chad Stearns looks to take the 3rd spot away from Andy Poliski.
Bartell underneath of Pavlowoda, Stearns underneath of Poliski. It could be bad news for these drivers if Chad Stearns gets this pass done on Andy Poliski. And by these drivers, I mean Nathan Reynolds and John Kay. Oh, Bartell not leaving a whole lot of room there for Pavlowoda, but is going to get the pass done.
Bartell into the top 5. Stearns and Poliski still battle side by side. Oh, Oh, Bartel,
Whoa.
he gets really loose. He's going to be back in a side-by-side battle, possibly with Palawota, maybe not.
What helped him out was that Palawota was just as loose. And, man, Peterson gives a bumper there to the sixth.
Peterson
Holy cow.
was leaning all over Palawota there at turn number 3.
Palawota, bless his heart, he is going the wrong direction here. And that bump from Peterson probably didn't do a whole lot. And
Here comes Salamone underneath.
Wow.
This is a mess.
Martin Sylvester Huggins says it's a mess. Unbelievable.
And through all of that, Andy Poliski is able to keep Chad Stearns off of his back for now. You don't see that too often.
Caitlin McLaughlin says she doesn't like grits. Let's go. One for the anti-grit gang.
There's going to be a poll after the race in the
There
top of the
might be.
Discord. Top of the Discord if you want to vote in the poll that will inevitably be coming out after this one's over. Salamone, I tell you what, he is on the move right now. He's gotten through all of those drivers behind him and is now pulled up trying to get alongside of TJ Bartel.
Salamone in the top 10 in points. 3 of the last 4 races have been top 10 finishes for this 99. Only one that wasn't was a 17th, I believe, at Twin Ring Motegi. Salamone quietly putting together a really solid season. Says his goal this time around is to end up in the top 5 in points. He certainly can do that. Is very capable, if not better.
There's one for the Grits Gang.
Oh, come on. That's all right. I understand.
If old girl was still around, she would be part of the Grits Gang as well.
Here's the thing is I'm from Illinois, so I'm not expecting anybody to respect my opinion. But I'm just saying that's what it is.
Well, I am also from Illinois, and I demand respect.
Well, you
in my
live
opinion.
in the Mid-South, so, you know. That's fine.
I demand respect from you anyways.
Well, you've got my respect.
Thank you, partner. All right, let's get off this damn Grits thing. We got a race to finish.
It is lap 120. John Kay has pulled out to a 1.3 second lead over Nathan Reynolds. Poliski and Stearns both pulling up on this 38 here. So it's about to be, maybe bad news for Poliski as he gets way up out of the groove there. Diamonds it down hard. Stearns had a huge run. The bad news for Reynolds is he is not gaining on John Kay, and Poliski and Stearns and Will Salamone are all catching him.
Well, I'll tell you what, John Kay came into this race. We talked to him just about an hour before the race start, and he felt pretty darn good about his chances here tonight. When John Kay is feeling confident, you know, I feel like it's not that often, but when he is, you're in trouble because he knows he's got something, and he's showing it here right now. And to his benefit, it looks like the 3 drivers behind him are all going to start battling here, and he's going to just be able to stay clear and click some laps off.
Reynolds backing up even more. Poliski a little bit out of shape here as well. And I think Salamone may have just scraped the wall there out of turn number 2. Laps are winding down here. John Kay desperately hoping this is going to go green the rest of the way. It's been a pretty good inaugural outing so far here in New Hampshire. the Venom Truck Series.
I mean, there's been some really, really great battles. We've had a couple of incidents. The lap traffic has been pretty interesting. I mean, I think it's been a great success so far. Oh, boy. Oh, here goes Poliski. I thought he had a bit of a run.
I think he did too. Maybe these guys know or think already that the race to the lead is off. But Poliski, I'm sure, wants to make quick work of Nathan Reynolds here. Is having a hard time doing it on the bottom.
And here comes Stearns finally. He's been pretty patient up to this point. Tried to take a look to the inside of Poliski. Hasn't worked quite yet.
Bartel and Peterson are starting to catch up to this group as well. They've got Rodney Matney with them as well. So it's about to be 2nd through 9th, nose to tail here on lap 127. All while John Kay is 2 seconds ahead. Oh, Stearns, wow. I mean, that is well within netcode range there. Here goes Stearns to the outside of the 32.
Stearns has been kind of working just a little bit higher than Poliski. I think this will be his preferred line. Wow, look at Poliski go way down. He enters the turn on the apron.
He's getting the pit road speed warning down there. And that really went a lot better than I thought it was going, to be honest. And the fight is not over yet.
Not even close. They were nearly touching down the front stretch. Like you said, just a Flapjack's width between them.
All the way down to the grass. Poliski gets a lot better run off the bottom in turn number 4 than he does out of turn number 2. Truck seems really light on its feet through turns 1 and 2. A lot steadier in 3 and 4.
Seems like Reynolds is backing up a bit to these two. Reynolds struggling now.
Some lap traffic for John Kay in the form of Ryan Dye. And man, Stearns nearly piling into the 38 there.
Reynolds, he really slows down in the middle of that corner, and Stearns is able to roll through it with a lot of speed. He just had to check up that time.
As these lap trucks approach Ryan Dye, maybe when they start to go by, we give Ryan Dye one more shout on the car inside camera. I appreciate him manning the cameras as everybody else did here tonight. Nathan Reynolds, Brantley Gainey, and Flinky Roberts.
I'll tell you what, he's going to give us a great look at this battle. Stearns is going to start looking to the bottom here.
Here we go. Oh, they're going to talk!
Contact with Dye!
Oh, my goodness. Reynolds straight up the track into the 9. I mean, Ryan was nearly up against the wall already. Unbelievable.
Wow, that could not have been more perfect timing.
Yeah, for you.
Unbelievable.
Wow. So just like that, Chad Stearns is up to 2nd. 3.2 seconds. We do still have, 24 laps to go? So maybe, just maybe, there was enough time for the 05 to put in some work and get up to John Kay. We'll have to see as the laps start to tick by here.
Well, if there's anything John Kay didn't want to happen, that was the exact scenario. I think Stearns is being held up a bit by both Reynolds and Poliski. and was able to get clear a little quicker than he should have.
That time by Stearns, a 10.5 quicker than John Kay. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it can add up real quick.
Looking at some battles a little bit farther back now. Salamoni and Bartel still battling. Poliski is a little bit slower. They're kind of catching Poliski here.
And to point out as well, Nathan Reynolds inside the top 10, back to the 8th position. I think Gary Clark just had an incident on track, but I think he's jumped back to the pits. So we should stay green here. Pancakes are better than waffles, you know?
Not even close.
I like them.
I feel strongly about that one.
I like them both a lot, so I don't think you can go wrong with either, unless you burn them.
I mean, my mom likes to make pancakes, but there's something about that fluffy waffle that just really makes my mouth water.
Speaking of fluffy waffles, Salamoni and Bartel, that had no relevance, but great segue. Bartel sends it in on Salamoni and will take the 4th spot away. Stearns and Kay are going back and forth on lap times here. 10.5 here, 10.5 there. Stearns has cut the gap to about 2.6 seconds.
And did Flinky Roberts come into pit, or what happened to him?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He came into pit on lap 125. I'm not sure why.
That was only his 2nd pit stop, so...
Interesting.
I'm wondering if he had come to pit maybe a little bit earlier than he could to make it to the end, and then, I'm not sure. But he is passing some of these lead trucks. And of course...
Stearns that time by another 10.5 quicker than John Kay. So maybe John Kay is trying to reel in the 0.5 and is trying to save a little bit of tire, or maybe that's just how much quicker Chad Stearns is right now. Now, at this rate, I think he's going to get close. I don't know if he'll quite get there. I think we're in for a show, though.
Blinky, of course, one of our car inside drivers. We'll give him some love here for just a second. He's
kind of a good-looking truck.
Great-looking truck. I mean, the background on his camera is nice. He's got the good old American flag and Speedy the Seal back there. He's always been good to us and pretty much doing whatever we ask of him unless he has something going on. So, shout out to Flink for indulging us and always offering up his services.
Bartel trying to track down Andy Poliski for a podium spot here. It'll be his 2nd podium on the season. Poliski with the misfortunes there from Nathan Reynolds. Looking pretty good to take the points lead over here today. Reynolds still hanging in the top 10 though, but not challenging Rodney Matney for the 7th position, and may have his hands full with Luke Peterson by the end of it here.
Oh, Flinky, they were 3 wide with another lap truck there going into turn number 3. That was with Bartel.
That's Oz Kanar, who again picked up damage on the 2nd caution earlier tonight. Kudos to him for sticking it out here tonight and doing a really good job staying out of the way as well. It's the best of both worlds. Oh, caution is
out.
That changes everything. Paul Sargent has gone around, I think maybe off the front bumper of the 3 of Cole Maxwell. Oh, boy.
Yeah, this certainly changes things. I want to take a look at a replay here, and then I also want to take a look at the replay of what happened to Reynolds.
John Kay, the gap between he and Chad Stearns had stabilized to about 2.5 seconds. Not at all what driver number 2 wants to see.
And yeah, you're right. Maxwell, he really sends it into turn 3, and he makes contact with the left rear quarter of Sargent. Sargent is going to go for a ride here.
Leaders are on to pit road. We'll keep an eye on that while you're watching the replays here.
And I think with not a whole lot of laps left, we're going to have some people stay out probably.
Michael Dean, I believe, is going to stay out. So he will take over the race lead here. Jan Van Leer has also stayed out.
Wow.
So ICR hedging their bets here. Jan Van Leer 2 cautions ago was the lucky dog driver, and now he is going to be on the front row here for this restart.
All right, while you're taking a look at that, I want to take another look at what happened here with Reynolds.
John Kay wins the race off of pit road for those drivers who did come down the pits. And yeah, go ahead with the replay here.
So this is what happens with Reynolds. Dye is trying to stay kind of out of this. He's way up at the top of the track. Stern's on the very inside, Reynolds here in the middle, and he kind of catches and gets side by side with Dye just at a really bad spot here. Thinks he's clear up to the top, and he is not, and comes right across the nose of the number 9, and he is almost completely sideways at one point. But is able to keep going. No caution came out there. All right. A few drivers are going to make this one really interesting here.
So Paul Sargent at the front of this line is on the lead lap, but he's at the tail end of the lead lap. So he will get the wave around here. The drivers that are going to make this interesting, 3 of them, in fact, teammates Michael Dean and Jan Van Leer will be on the front row. Tyler Berger will be on the inside of row number 2 with John Kay to his outside.
Well, Michael Dean and Jan Van Leer, they were back there maybe just outside the top, like 12 or 13, right around the 15th spot, I think, and making a little bit of a Hail Mary move. Now, what can really work out for them here is if we have a couple of cautions come out. We saw at the very start of this race, guys were a little antsy. Our drivers were here, and we had a caution come out immediately. If they can get one of those and extend these caution laps, that can really work out into their favor.
Dean going to elect the inside. He's got a top 5 to his credit this season at Canadian Tire. I believe 6th place is the best finish for Jan Van Leer this season at Twin Ring Motegi. Tyler Berger, we haven't got to talk about him a whole lot, but he's had a couple of decent runs here in his rookie season with the Venom Truck Series. I believe 14th is the best finish that he's logged, but he was running much better than that at North Wilkesboro earlier this season, driving for Team Pony Express. So they are the top 3 on old tires. Everybody else behind them on the freshies. Where is John Kay going to put this truck in his mad dash to get back to the front? It'll be 5 laps to go when we come back around to the green flag. Dean to the gas. Not the best restart for John Kay here. Great start for Michael Dean, though. Kay going to stick that up into the black, up on the top side. He'll have the run on Jan Van Leer, Chad Stearns, and Poliski, 3 wide with
Dean
Van Leer in the middle.
Block. Michael Dean went for the block on Kay. It's not going to work. Kay will go around the outside. Oh, there's contact.
Caution is out. Nathan Reynolds piled into the back of the 44 truck and sent him up into the wall.
Oh, my goodness.
I believe at the time of caution, your leader was John Kay.
You are correct. He had gotten around Michael Dean already at that point, and a little correction. You said 5 laps to go. It was actually 10 laps to go.
It's 155, not 150. You are absolutely correct.
So we will still, I mean, now we may have 5 laps to go.
Yeah, it'll be pretty close
when we restart this one. going to see if I can take a little look. Actually, that is way too early.
It's an amazing thing that nobody is going to hit this 44 on their way by. A couple other drivers make contact amongst themselves, but they don't really cause any furtherance of the issue here.
Apologies, folks. I'm going to go ahead and just rewind from here. And go with the old far chase. It never fails. Coming here into turn 3. Reynolds really sends it in here. I think he thought Berger was going to stay way up high. He doesn't. Reynolds carries a full head of steam here into turn number 3. Tags the left rear of Bergert. And Bergert just goes head on into the wall.
Man.
Little bit of contact between Caudle and I think maybe Garrett Rainey trying to stay away from him. But really nothing else that was too much of damage to any other driver there.
That is an unfortunate end to the race here tonight for Tyler. I mean, whether or not he was going to hang on to a spot in the top 5 there, it was still going to be a pretty decent result there for this 44 truck tonight. But John Kay made it through, and I think the good news for him is that Jan Van Leer and Michael Dean are still up here on the older tires. It'll get him some separation from Chad Stearns. He's still going to have to contend with the 32 of Andy Poliski, though.
Well, we've seen Andy Poliski. He's been able to dive down on the bottom and make it pretty much stick most of the time. I think that's the move that John Kay is going to have to worry about.
And even in the early portions of this race, a lot of drivers were taking the bottom, driving it in deep, and going for the slider, and not really caring whether or not the person up top was going to roll out of it. So there's been a lot less give and take than we normally see in a Venom Truck Series race here today.
Well, on top of that, we're going to have 5 to go on the restart.
Exactly.
That is just going to compound and create some Venom Truck Series chaos that we are so used to seeing at this point. It's been a wild season.
It's been a wild season, but there may not have been a wilder race this season than what we've seen here tonight. If you're enjoying it, let us know in the chat. Let these drivers know. They come back and watch. They come back and look for your chats. So shout them out. Give them some love. Give them all that positive energy here as they get ready to duke it out for what actually now will be a 5-lap shootout, actually this time, for the win here in the inaugural Venom Truck Series race at New Hampshire. John Kay elects the outside, Michael Dean. Dino on the inside. Row number 2 is Poliski on the inside. Jan Van Leer on the outside. Chad Stearns and TJ Bartel behind them. Great restart there by John Kay, looking to set sail. Poliski did not get a great restart here.
No, not at all. Actually, a really bad restart from the 32.
Trying desperately to get to the inside of Jan Van Leer here. TJ Bartel looking to the outside of this 32 here for the 4th spot. And the caution is back out again. We're going to overtime. 3 trucks around in the back, including Jeremy McKinnon. Oh, man. Just outside of the top 10. McKinnon, I think, is going to spin all by himself and come back up in front of the pack. And I'm not too sure Brantley Gainey is not one of these trucks that's involved here.
Well, McKinnon was playing that same strategy as his teammate, trying to work underneath the yellow line just a bit. He dips the left side tires underneath. And as he tries to accelerate here off of turn number 2, he gets really, really loose. He's going to try to make a save, and I think he's going to come straight across the racetrack. Maybe he's doing a pretty good job right now
I think Gainey's expecting him to come up the track here.
Oh,
Sort
and
of
you're
commits. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, what a tough night for Brantley Gainey.
And then Kenneth Graves, he was thinking the same thing, and he was right behind Gainey, plows into him after the fact. Man. If Gainey didn't have bad luck tonight, he would have absolutely no luck at all.
That is a certainty. We appreciate everybody in the Gainey gang hanging out with us here tonight. Tried my best not to jinx him. It happened almost immediately, and then it's just been piling on since then. But now, it's still ICR, second and third. Poliski did not get a good restart that last time by. Is not going to be able to get a clean crack at John Kay here coming to overtime.
No, John Kay will likely start on the top as he has all night. That means Dean will be on the bottom. That's who Poliski will end up starting. Excuse me, he will start behind John Kay on the top side.
So maybe a bit of a blessing this time is he'll have some room to maneuver on the outside. And we'll also have a clean look at the back bumper of the 2 truck.
Have a clean look at the back of the bumper, but not much room to work with, likely, with the 2 trucks on the bottom.
Michael Dean just gave John Kay a little bit of a bump there down the back straightaway. John Kay is going to take the bottom on this restart.
Wow.
I think he knows that 32 is going to line up behind him.
That is an interesting move. I mean, I feel like usually in this situation, you would just restart in your most comfortable position, which has been the outside all night for the 2.
It certainly has.
He's feeling the heat from the last season's champion, Andy Poliski.
So this is going to make for some interesting ingredients here. Poliski, 2 wins on the season. Has only led 10 laps this season, though, believe it or not. John Kay, on the other hand, 1 victory this season, has led the most laps here tonight and this season as a whole. Michael Dean, Jan Van Leer, I mean, looking for some big finishes here tonight. Poliski, Stearns, Bartel, Reynolds, Vroman all of a sudden in the top 10 here. I mean, he is up 18 spots here. A possible 3 overtime attempts here. We're coming to the first one right now. Kay with another good start. He can pick whatever lane he wants now. Poliski boxed in behind Michael Dean. Looking for some room on the top side. They're going to be battling side by side for second as John Kay trying to set sail. Hoping, praying that there is not going to be another caution before he can get back to the line.
Poliski still trying to fight around Michael Dean. He has him clear this time.
Back to the line. White flag is out. One more time around.
Steve Roman got put in the wall off of turn 4, but I think he stayed there.
Dean trying to hang on to a podium spot. Poliski desperately trying to find anything
Roman
he can to
turned
get up
to
to
the
John
inside.
Kay. Big crash down the back straightaway. As up front, it's going to be win number 2 on the season for driver number 2. John Kay wins it at New Hampshire. It's Michael Dean at the line for 3rd, and Andy Poliski will finish on the middle step here tonight. As problems there on the final lap for a number of people, but specifically Steve Roman.
Roman got put in the wall coming to the white flag, and then on the backstretch on the last lap, got turned to the inside wall. Yeah,
We'll have to take a look at that here in a second. But John Kay going to burn it down.
Gonna wait for a couple of teammates to arrive. Get a little picture here with the whole team before we do some burnouts.
Every representative of the Alabama gang and the Super Kick Revival Racing Team doing some burnouts as the South has risen to the occasion here tonight in New Hampshire. Can't say enough, though, about Michael Dean rolling the dice and coming away with the podium finish here tonight. Fantastic.
Yeah, ICR as a whole, I mean, they rolled the dice as a team. And Jan Van Leer didn't have as great a luck, but, I mean, he's still going to end up with a top 10 here.
Let's take a look real quick at what happened to Steve Roma there.
Yeah, I got to try and find everything that happened to him. This is going to be the final crash, but I'm going to back it up just a little bit because he gets put in the wall well before this. Of course, Vroman in the double zero. Oh, a little bit of netcode, I think, with Reynolds is what put him in the wall to begin with. That's down the front stretch. And then everybody is just jockeying for position here. And he just gets loose. And then gets tagged. Oh, he ends up on top of the inside wall.
Oh, boy.
On top of the tire barrier.
Well, I tell you what, partner, let's go ahead and take a look at our full finish and rundown here as the drivers start to trickle into the waiting room. It's John Kay with another victory on the season. Andy Poliski may be taking over the points lead here tonight. It's going to be close. Michael Dean then with the podium finish. We'll talk to all three of these gentlemen here momentarily. Chad Stearns hangs on for fourth. TJ Bartell, another top 5 for him this season. Nathan Reynolds, I mean, talk about an up and down night. He's going to come away with a 6th place finish. Jan Van Leer going to hang on for a 7th place finish. Will Salamone keeps his top 10 streak alive here tonight with an 8th place finish. Rodney Matney, likewise, 9th here tonight. Top 10 streak is still alive for him. Corey Rutherford back into the top 10 here tonight. He will finish in 10th. Nathan Palawoda in 11th. Well, Luke Peterson ran in the top 10, all night and finishes just outside in 12th. Paul Ellison, 13th. Eric Breeding in 14th. Garrett Rainey rounds out your top 15. Paul Sargent in 16th. Joshua Caudill, 17th. Jeremy McKinnon there with the accident late will finish in the 18th position. Cole Maxwell, 19th. Austin Holyfield in 20th. Then Kyle Zittel, Flinky Roberts, Kevin Sargent, your final trucks on the lead lap down through 23rd. Steve Roman, technically a DNF here tonight in 24th. Kenneth Graves in 25th. Ryan Dye in 26th. Man, talk about a pilot on night for Ryan Dye. Holy cow. Brantley Gainey, likewise, another pilot on night. 27th for Brantley Gainey here tonight. Oz Kinar, 28th. Tyler Berger, then I believe going to be a DNF in 29th. DNFs from here on out. Gary Clark, Pascal Samard, Kyle Dumig, Jeremy Carter, and Ethan Patterson. Your 34 trucks that started this race here tonight at New Hampshire. But back on the podium here tonight is Dino, Michael Dean, with a big roll of the dice there at the end of the race to stay out. It's I'd say it paid off for you. What do you think?
Yeah, man, it definitely worked out. Me and Jan stayed out, or actually we pitted when we took our last set of tires with 50 to go or so. And I drove through the field from like 20th to 6th maybe before that caution came out. And, it worked out in the end. I think I could have, I don't know if I could have done any better than third had the caution not come out 4 times. So no complaints from me.
You got a good look at a lot of the action throughout the field here tonight. What was the trick to getting around New Hampshire here tonight?
I'll let you know when I figure it out.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, this is another one of those tracks that I've never been to, so that seems to be the key for me.
Matt, what do you got?
Well, for never being here, this seems like a pretty tough track to handle, especially with all of the trucks that were out there on the track. Tell me about trying to work through the traffic as you worked your way through the field there in the last third of the race.
Yeah, it was pretty tight there, especially after that caution with 50 to go. Pulled some pretty scary 3 wide moves once or twice, but made them through, thankfully. A lot of credit to the other drivers here. Just want to say sorry to Ryan Dye for fencing him early on. Definitely didn't mean to do that, but really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
Next week is the All-Star race. You're headed in as the defending All-Star race winner. What do you think you got for the field at Racing Superspeedway?
I never thought I'd say this, but let's go back to the LA Coliseum.
Oh, come on now.
No, it'll be a good race. It'll be a good race. That place is insane. It's like you're driving on the side of a building. It's how big it looks. And like it's crazy in the VR headset. It's just, the first time I pulled out on track there, I was like, whoa, that's tall.
Anybody else you want to shout out here tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, just the team, Insert Coins having a pretty good season, especially now we're getting through to the middle part of the season. Thanks to the league, thanks to you guys, thanks to Jamie, let me do this every Tuesday night. And yep, we'll be back next week.
It's your third top 5 on the season, first podium of the season, 4th of your career. Hope to talk to you again here soon, but congrats on a great run here tonight.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good night.
And we'll bring up a driver that is absolutely no stranger to Booth 200. That is your runner-up finisher here tonight, your defending series champion, Andy Poliski. What do you think you needed there at the end of the race to track down John Kay?
I really don't know. John was really, really fast. I might have been going for second the whole race. I needed a good long run with 4 tires. I think if we had a good long run and I had the same tires as him, I might have been able to get him that way. I know early in the race, I was able to kind of pace with him, and right before he pitted, I was making time back up on him, but he was really good in the short to mid run. I was better, I think, in the mid to longer run.
Your lines through the race were pretty crazy, and they were working out for you really well. Talk us through trying to find grip on this track.
That was just a lot of practice last night. I tried different things just to see where you could get grip and where you couldn't, and what could work. Because I know passing is extremely hard here. And so, yeah, it's just trying to find places where people aren't running and try to still maintain speed. So some of it worked, some of it didn't. If I had a little bit more drive off, that really inside line would have worked. But it was just really hard to maintain that. I kept breaking the rear tires loose.
Matt, what do you got?
Congrats on the P2. Tell me about the battle you had there with Chad Stearns. It seemed like you two just could not get rid of each other for a good part of the race. What was it like going back and forth with him here tonight?
Actually, between him and Nathan as well, it was just a lot of fun. Good hard racing, good close racing. I didn't want to give up the position to him because I know, like you said, it would have been extremely hard to get back around him. And I was still trying to get in front of Nathan too. So, ultimately I kind of burned up my stuff there. And being on 2 tires, a little bit of a deficit, but I don't know. You don't get any better racing than that.
Well, it's your 5th trip to Booth 200 here this season, but let's get the shout-outs going for you. You can never shout out to the people that support you enough.
Oh, not at all. My wife and daughter, they really support me a lot every week in this. My sponsor, Nissan Wichita Falls, new paint scheme this week, Pepsi on the board, kind of a 4th of July type thing, red, white, and blue on it, but good showing for this scheme. This league, like I said, week in, week out, it's a blast. racing everybody, talent all through the field, wherever you're racing. And then you guys in the booth, like I said, every week, going back and rewatching it, it's a great showing.
Listen to this stat. It's your 75th career start with the Venom Truck Series here tonight. It is your 55th top 10. That is an insane number. 34th career podium, but who's keeping track? Certainly not me. Andy Poliski, your runner-up finisher here tonight. Congrats, and we'll be talking to you again soon, I know.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
And let's go ahead and bring up your race winner. I believe it is... I just typed the wrong thing in there. We'll go ahead and bring up your race winner, and I'll fiddle around with this stuff. He called a shot off the air earlier tonight. He's back in booth 200, and he's doing it as a race winner. John Kay, congrats on the win. I'd say you were pretty fast here tonight.
Yeah, it felt good. A lot of practice, a lot of repetitions, and a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck. Where did you need the most luck here tonight? It seemed like you were pretty well in control of everything that was going on.
I needed the luck practicing to make it around the track. It was a frustrating couple of days, and then I got lucky and kind of did something that worked. And I was like, oh, okay, shoot, it kind of runs. Garrett's probably going to yell at me when he hears this, but I was like, it kind of runs like a Milwaukee mile ish. And yeah, I mean, looking back at that race in the off season. We were fooling around with some stuff like half fuel and longer race distances and stuff, and pretty much checked out on everybody there. So I was pretty happy. I didn't expect to do that tonight at times, but I pulled some good gaps on Andy and pulled a really good gap there at the end before them cautions came out. So yeah, just a little
go ahead.
luck there at the end. I was just gonna say that's where the luck came in. There was at the end. Everybody pit this time instead of staying out. So
yeah, that certainly did help. And that's what I was going to say, too, is maybe you didn't want to see the late caution there, but it seemed like some of the drivers that stayed out and the way everybody came off of pit road, it seemed like you actually benefited more from that late caution because Chad Stearns was starting to reel you in there a little bit on that last long run.
Yeah, I did notice that. I kept checking the relative just to kind of maintain the gap. I wasn't going to push my brains out or anything there at the end. I didn't want to risk looping the truck. I came close a couple times. So it was just kind of manage the gap. I'd watch Chad reel in a couple tenths, and then mainly on exit, I was pulling away from a lot of guys exit of the corner, and I'd build a couple tenths back up. So Chad, I was keeping an eye on Chad. He's really good. I'm pissed at him though, because he stole the pole. I'm never going to get one of those things. I'm thoroughly convinced. But no, Chad's awesome. I love racing against Chad. He's so good, and he's good everywhere. You don't know when the hell he's going to show up to a Venom race, but you know he's going to come in and kick ass. So it's a great competition.
Matt, what do you got here?
Man, congratulations. Finally got the monkey off the back. You won a race with Tommy Cook here in the booth.
He was here for Atlanta, though.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. He was, I guess, but it seems like whenever he's not here, you win. Anyway,
no, we gotta reset it because he won without me once, and now we're back on track.
Damn, I'm not gonna win a race till Tommy leaves again. That sucks.
Yep.
But regardless, they're on those restarts. I know that you were pretty much restarting on the outside all night. Were you just trying to stay away from Andy starting on the inside there on that final one? Did you get a little scared of the 32 behind you?
I wasn't scared. Andy's really good too, and I know I'm in good hands around Andy. Shout out Allstate. But I know Andy's gonna race you really, really hard, but he's gonna race you really clean, and he's not gonna dump you or anything stupid unless you've done it to him. Which I mean, me and him got into it at Myrtle Beach like 2 seasons ago on accident, but I mean we've smoothed it out. Me and Andy have had obviously like Wilkesboro and here we've had some really good battles, and yeah, I just my whole line of thinking was, I mean, again, this is where the luck comes in. Shout out Tyler Berger for staying out and not having tires. Because if Tyler doesn't stay out, I probably lose the race. So I got the outside line, restarted in 4th, and I was taking Jan and Michael D 3 wide in the first corner. That was the entire line of thought. I'd done it in an AI race like 2 or 3 times over the weekend, and I was like, to hell with it. Like, I'm not going to lose the race because I'm not going to try something that I'm confident in. So, yeah, we hung it around the outside of Jan. Michael Dean got a really good jump. and he threw a big old block down the middle of the backstretch, and God bless Dean, because he didn't come back up, or we probably would have both wrecked. And I'm so excited. I can't wait for him to get his first win. Michael Dean, first points paying win, because Michael Dean is awesome and he works really hard, and he definitely deserves it. Him and Jan both. So I know their day's coming, but I was sitting there on fresh tires, and I was like, oh, I hate to be the guy, but today's not going to be the day. And then got out in front and just started trapping Andy behind. I was like, I'm just gonna get a jump. I know they're on old tires still, so they're gonna get wheel spin and stuff, and Andy's just gonna be kind of hung out back there. So it was a little bit of gamesmanship, and we both started laughing because he was sitting there before the final restart, and he was in fourth, and he's like, yes, I'm gonna get to restart behind John K. And then I went, I'm taking the bottom, and he went, damn it, and I got trapped again. So looking forward to throwing down with Andy more. Made up, I don't know, probably like 5 points on him tonight or something, but that's big, and hopefully keep it going into the second half of the season. We've had, this is the best start to a season I've ever had. This is the first time I've ever had multiple wins in a season, so pretty stoked, and I just want to keep it going. I feel like I've got a little something to prove. I've been saying, I half-ass think I can win a championship, and I've said a bad word, but my bad. But
you're up to like 10 or 15 now, but that's all right. You haven't broached into forbidden territory. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
No Garrett bombs yet.
No Garrett bombs. But I told some people during the off season, I was like, maybe we can compete for a championship. I don't know, probably not, but we're gonna give it a shot. And here we are, third going into this race in points without the drop race, or third with the drop race. I don't even know, but it's been a crazy ride, crazy first half of the season. So hopefully Lady Luck keeps shining on us, because I'm gonna need it. Those Andy and Nathan, or even though Nathan had a rough night tonight and a rough night at Michigan, Andy has been super consistent. So gonna need a little bit of luck. Gonna need that golden horseshoe from him.
Well, I think you can shout out Lady Luck here today. I guess I think you had it pretty well in hand. But shout out to Lady Luck. Anybody else you want to say hi to or shout out here today?
Yeah, I gotta shout out my girlfriend. She's awesome. She gives me a lot of weird looks when she walks by, because I'm usually spouting nonsense, and she tells me I talk like a race car driver. So she knows every time I'm like watching a video on Instagram, she goes, "Oh, it's a race car driver," and I'm like, "How the hell do you know?" And she goes, "They all talk the same." So shout out to her. She's the best. She puts up with all my crap and me being loud all the time. It's a constant thing. It's not just when I race. Shout out to my mom and dad. I think my dad was watching tonight. He said he was going to try. He's in like Texas right now.
Hey.
Doing some over the road trucking. So shout out to both my parents. They're incredible, and they let me do dumb stuff like this too when I lived with my mom. So I'm just super, super thrilled I get the chance to, and to be alive, to have been born. And shout out the whole team. Shout out Garrett, Paul, Nathan, Eric. Carson wasn't here again tonight, but Luke, and I think that's it. Brandon Byers isn't here anymore. So shout out my second favorite Ginger, Brandon. My first favorite is, I'm probably going to get hit for this, but my girlfriend is my first favorite. She's a redhead. Yeah, she's fiery, so I'm probably going to get whooped after this. Shout out my YouTube channel. We had 100 subscribers finally.
Yeah, baby.
Oh man, I'm pumped. Next up, 200. All the league races will be on there from my point of view. You can hear me yell at people and spout nonsense and talk crap, all that stuff. And then shout out you guys. Lastly, you guys are incredible. You're really a part of the Venom family. Whether it's letting us sit here and BS and say a bunch of random crap, and just absolute nonsense usually when I'm talking, and then racing with us and all the other stuff that, inviting us to run in like turn 200 or truck 200 and the Daredevil series. You guys are awesome, and super thankful to have you. And if you were watching this, make sure to hit that subscribe button on the turn 200 page, and Venom Truck Series every Tuesday nights. Obviously Daredevils tomorrow at Suzuka at about the same time, 8 o'clock.
Hey.
And then Truck 200 will be making a comeback, and then I'm waiting for the Triple R to come back. I haven't seen an episode in a while. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, you're gonna keep waiting.
Wow, what the hell? I'll go back and watch some old ones then.
We'll have a discussion about it. But
All right.
hey, I appreciate all the shout outs and everything you did. You made my job at the end of the stream here a lot easier.
Try.
We're gonna keep making you update that STK nameplate as well.
What does
Now it says 3-time most popular driver and 3-time winner. You are now a 4-time winner in the Venom Truck Series. So
Yeah, I gotta go fix all my paints too now. Man, I might just take one of the win stickers off since I've got multiple this season. That was a whole beef with Ryan Dye. I told him I wanted to put all my race win stickers on my truck, and he's like, "You haven't won any races this season." And I was like, "Too damn bad." So every time I painted my truck, I made sure there was a win sticker on there, and that's why there's 3 on there. If you've ever seen it on the broadcast, 3 career wins. I'm very proud of them. It's extremely hard to win in this league, and I'm very proud to have done it 4 times now. It's a milestone win for me. It moves me up on the list. So hopefully we can get a pole next time and finally break that streak. Damn you, Chance Stearns.
Well, a lot to celebrate and be proud of here tonight. Congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you again here soon, partner.
Thanks, fellers. Have a good one. No Tony Stewart tonight. I'm gonna be nice.
Okay. Oh man, it never fails. It's always its own stream, really, when we get John K up into the broadcast booth. All right, I guess we'll go on a quick out here, partner. What are some of your thoughts here as we wrap up the night here at New Hampshire?
Wow, I mean, the Venom Truck Series just keeps delivering and delivering time after time. Man, that was a crazy one. A lot of strategy as far as pit stops goes. You had some incidents, some cautions at the end, a couple overtime starts. I mean, I don't know if you can really ask for any more than that, but what I can do is thank all of the lovely people that watched here tonight and chatted in the chat with us. State Line Sim Racing, West Brown, the Mac Farm Family Adventures, Lindsay G, of course, as always, Caitlin McLaughlin, Madison Bowen was in here as well. Thank you to all of you for coming in here and chatting and watching the stream here tonight. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We got 2 more streams here this week. Some really exciting stuff coming up in the weeks to come. But like John K said, Truck 200 will be back soon on Monday nights. Something else as well, possibly coming to fruition here soon. But more on that later. Tomorrow night, the Daredevil Series back in action. Maybe the most traditional race that you're going to see in the Daredevil Series, but that does not mean traditional does not mean bad or boring, because it is the absolute balls out, S-turn heavy, flat out speed insaneness that is Suzuka. A crazy Grand Prix circuit, one of my favorites. It's a favorite of a lot of the drivers as well. They are going to be itching to get after it tomorrow night at Suzuka. And then Thursday night, it is the full points-paying debut, the returning Maximum Velocity Racing League. That is going to be fantastic. Those guys are absolutely insane. A lot of really talented, even notable drivers, dare I say, will be taking part in the full season of the Maximum Velocity iRacing League on Thursday nights right here on Turn 200. So to be sure that you're a part of all of the action here, scroll down just a little bit and hit that subscribe button. Hit the like on this stream while you're down there as well. Every little bit helps. We would not be here without you. We appreciate everything that you do for us and with us. We thank you for hanging out with us here tonight. We hope to see you back here tomorrow with the Daredevil Series, Thursday with Maximum Velocity, and next Tuesday for the All-Star Race and the All-Star Open at iRacing Superspeedway. Unbelievable action in store next Tuesday night. That is going to be fantastic. We hope to see you here for that. But until we meet again, for everybody with the Venom Truck Series, for everybody at Turn 200, for the GOAT, Matt Williamson, I am Tommy Cook. Until we meet again, we say so long from virtual New Hampshire, where All-State John Kay reigns supreme once again for the 4th time in his career. Have a good night, everybody.